Yo, Crypto Nation and mining family, what's going on, all you happy hashers out there? At least I hope you guys are happy still. But I know it's been a while since I've been doing any videos. It's been like a good month. We can blame our good friend Crypto McKell for that. Like about a month ago, he gets a hold of me, says, "Hey, look, we need some help deploying some ASICs." He's like, "Are you available?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can help out." So I go to help out, and they liked me so much they offered me a job. So that's why I've been gone for the last month or so, since you guys have really seen any videos from me. So now that I'm back at home, and I'll be going back to work here, which means I'm going to be leaving home, which means no videos, maybe. If I feel that I want to do a video while I'm on the road, I will, but otherwise, it looks like the scheduling will be minimum every 3 weeks. I should be able to drop a video for you guys. Talking about dropping a video, I've got a couple of things that I was gifted. I know. This one's a little... I feel humbled by this. It's different. I'm not used to it. Very, very humbled by it. But our friends up over at Solo Satoshi actually sent me over a couple of things. Not on the same day. These are spread out, of course. But, you know, one of them was, represent properly here, we got this awesome Bitaxe Anarchy hat. I know you guys need this in your life too. I had to have it because of the Anarchy thing and the cool font on there. I like that. If you guys want to check it out, you can go over to solosatoshi.com utilizing my affiliate link down below, and you can get yourself one of these fresh hats. Man, it's a nice hat. I like it. It's not bad at all. But the other thing that they sent over, kind of like, I didn't even ask. This one I'm like really humbled over. Hats and stuff. Being a mechanic, I'm used to as a mechanic. You know, hey, I spend X amount of dollars with you guys, or I do X amount of promoting for somebody. The least that I think that any business person, it doesn't matter what your business is. I get this with mechanic stuff all the time. Okay, I spend $500-600 with a company, like let's say Snap-on, let's say Matco Tools, right? I spent $5,000 with Matco Tools. Oh, I don't have the hat next to me, but I got a free hat out of the deal. You know, $5,000. The least you can do is give me a free hat and a T-shirt. I'm just saying. But I spent, I don't know, a few $100s with Solo Satoshi, grabbing various different miners from them, you know, and they sent me over a really good, cool hat. The hat was actually discontinued. They weren't even selling it anymore. And then I asked them about it. I'm like, I need that hat in my life. And they were like, "We'll hook you up." I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." So they sent me up over the hat, see what I thought of the quality. The quality of the hat overall is good. The only thing, if I was going to nitpick, is just the snapback. It has just a single stitching row keeping the snapback in place onto the hat material itself. I've had good luck and bad luck with them, so we'll see what the mileage is on this one. I find that anytime that you puncture plastic a few times, you basically made it a perforated edge that, you know, it's like any bag, you know, or a piece of paper. It's got a perforated edge. You can kind of rip it right there. Mileage may vary, but I've had issues here and there. Not on every single hat that's like this, but issues here and there. So I did forewarn them that it may be a problem here and there, but overall, hat quality, I like it. I collect hats. So just so you guys know, it's coming from a guy who collects hats. I actually like the cloth bands for instead of the snapbacks. It's a personal preference at that point. Some people don't like it because if you like a really snug fitting hat, the cloth lockers sometimes will loosen up a little bit if you get them too tight. So where the snapback, you'll be able to get it tight, and then you're good to go. So depends on how you wear your hat. Also depends on what styling you prefer. I prefer the cloth back side. And then it secures better. And if it ever breaks, guess what? I can easily fix it. And guess what? Even with these hats, I can still fix it. Because like it's all attached into the hat the same way. So even if this plastic gives up, like it has on a couple other hats that I have, I just sew in some new clasps on there. We're good to go. But this isn't a hat review, guys. This has nothing to do with hats. I mean, the hat's cool, and I know you need it in your life. You need to go over to solosatoshi.com using my link down below and grab yourself. But you're going to be excited over what I actually have sitting in front of me. If you haven't seen it yet, let me be the first one to introduce to you the Bitaxe Turbo Touch. Dun, 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 dun. I know, I do weird shit when you're not pressing the like button. I'm just saying. Let's go ahead and show you guys what this is all about here. Yo, of course, I'm going to go over to my friends, solosatoshi.com, affiliate link down below. Get yourself one of these for $325. Not bad on the pricing either, guys. Especially when you are, let's take a look at, so if you look at like their other new miner that just came out that I was debuting here, right? We got the Bitaxe GT Gamma Turbo, which is the 801 model, 2 dual chip, and we can see that it is $105 plus shipping plus your power supply. You'll be at that $223 and a little higher for shipping. So note to yourself that you're $223 unless you have your own power supply. Then you can 86 the power supply and you're saving yourself a little bit of money here, right? So here we are. We're now looking at their new miner here. I have to now go back here, bam, just like that. And here we have for $325. That'll be with with your power supply. So basically, this is at the end of the day, guys. Let's be absolutely clear with it. The platform on the Bitaxe Turbo Touch Edition is the Bitaxe GT 801 Turbo. This is the same Bitaxe GT as I've already debuted on there, with the addition of it's now a conversational piece. So, it's like you now have your Wi-Fi set up and it's all touchscreen on here. You've got current times on this. You got the current block height. You've got your hash rate of the miner that's on here. You can see all the different blocks that have been mined, the latest blocks. You can see the last block that was mined on here, which is really cool. It'll tell you what pool, who was doing it. Was it Mara pool, F2 pool? Was it an unknown? Unknown means that it was mined to a solo wallet. Somebody had their own Bitcoin Core node and mined directly to it the way that Satoshi intended. Yep, that's what you're gonna see. So very, very cool. The only thing I would ever gripe about, I wish all the small form factor miners would use a better solution than a laptop power brick. I mean, granted, I get it. It has been modified to for with a TX30 plug on there, but if you start overclocking with this, sure, I've got enough headroom from the miner to this. This has got 124 watts on here. This thing is like running 50 watts, you know, give or take. Overclocked, it'll get up a little higher. I'm not gonna come anywhere near that 100-watt threshold on this. But I would say I would like to see an upgraded option for the 12-volt system, even if it was like a small HP power supply with a breakout board that has a TX30 outlet on plug on there. I believe one of the guys over at Moon Labs was starting to show that he's testing with a breakout board that does have TX30 plugs on there. I'd like to see that as an option somewhere. I would like to find that. This way, I can utilize some of my older HP power supplies that I just have sitting off to the side, not doing anything, instead of constantly just buying new hardware. I would like to just adapt my old hardware to work on the new miners. That's always a more economical way of doing things, considering that the HP power supplies are still highly efficient, and they work just fine, and they have always worked just fine. So I don't mind to doing it that way, or making a Meanwell upgraded power supply available for this. That's like, that would either be good for just one, maybe two miners. Doesn't have to be that big, just needs to be 12 volt. I don't know if that's an option that could be done easily, but I personally just, I mean, that's just me nitpicking, would like to see a better option than just the standard power supply brick that holds every bit of every heat that like, it doesn't dissipate heat at all. I hate them. Other than that, they do work. If you're not overclocking the snot out of them like I like to do, typically they will be fine in normal situations. So with that being stated, you know, like you hear me kind of complaining, going, I wish there was a better option than this. But if you don't overclock, there's nothing wrong with it either. It is a personal preference on my side because of the fact that I like to play with it and I don't want to damage any equipment. So it's just a small nitpick on my end. Is it a make it or break it deal for me? I bought them with it anyway, and then I'll upgrade them later. It's not, to me, I don't care. It's just, I wish that if like, I do know that Solo Satoshi does offer the Meanwell power supplies, so you can grab everything right there. But this is where my small nitpick comes in, and it's really not much. Here it is. I'm on the website, you know, and they're just giving me an option for North America power supply, and all that is the plug end. They're giving me an American plug end instead of a European plug end. You know, that's all it is. I would like to see, you know, power supply standard, or standard, none, or upgrade. An upgrade could be like a 320 watt Meanwell 12 volt power supply, and you know, I have to put the wire on there. You know, option it with the wire on there, charge it. You know, that's just me. I'm not thinking outside of the, you know, thinking of anything special out of this. It's, again, just a small, teeny tiny nitpick. You know, it's like good, bad, and ugly. I'd like to see upgraded stuff for overclockers like myself. But I don't expect people to cater to overclockers like myself, because I know that I'm not always in the majority. Most people set it up, set it and forget it. You know, give me what I need in one package. I'll plug it in, and then I'm walking away from it. You know, a lot of people are like that, where they just want something that's going to work, it's going to be reliable, and it's not going to break anytime soon, right? So the setup that they have here, A-okay. It is perfect for anybody who's in that category. If you come into my category, you might want to think about upgrading stuff. It's not the end of the world. As you see, I do run it with the brick on there. So take it as you will, right? So let's go ahead and let's power this bad boy up. I mean, I'm sure you guys are waiting for this thing to just get turned on. So let me go ahead and plug my TX30 plug in here. And this is the thing that I love about this miner. It's on my desk. I'm not dragging out an Ethernet cord for this. Now, I know as a gamer, I want to be wired. If you're wired in, you're good. If you're not wired in, you might lose from time to time because there's that delay in the wireless. Absolutely, you got packet losses, you got Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi interferences, Bluetooth interferences, all that stuff, right? So you might have an issue every once in a blue moon. That is normal for any kind of time you got wireless. So the same thing can be said with mining wireless. Let's say you were going to hit a block, right? But the packet got lost in the airwaves. Guess what? You didn't hit the block now. So that's where people have the argument, hey, we need to wire this stuff up. We need to stop playing with the wireless because it's destroying your odds on actually trying to be competitive. Because at the end of the day, it's drag racing. If you can squeak out, if you can cut time, and we're talking milliseconds, guys, milliseconds. We can cut time out, perfect. That's where my other thing, which, again, this is just the world's smallest gripe. And I guess this would be on all of the Bitaxes, all of these small form factors, is I don't have the option for wired. I've got to put the solution on there myself. Again, is that a make it or break it situation? For me, no, because I love playing with the hardware. I enjoy it, so it's just giving me something to do, and then I can make videos on there, and then you guys get to watch them, and it's awesome. But let's go ahead, power this bad unit up. And as it's sitting there loading up, I can feel the fans already turning on. And as it's loading up, it takes it a few seconds to initialize on the system. And then it'll initialize to the pool real fast, and now it will start throwing down. And right off the rip, we're at 2.2 terahash. We're at 45 watts. And it's just starting up, so the temperature is at 51C, not bad. My best share, which is this little star thing right here, I've got 1.4G. I've got one submitted share so far. And my fan speed's at full tilt at 3,600 RPM, and you can barely hear it from as far as I'm like an arm's length away, so that's like at least 2-ish feet away. I don't really hear the fan. I mean, if I had my dehumidifier off, I'd hear it really slightly. It's about 31. Let's see here. It is, 35 decibels noise level at default settings. So it'll be really quiet at default settings, but when this thing gets warm, fan will ramp up a little bit higher. It does have a little bit of an audibleness to it, but not bad. It's not like your normal Bitcoin miners where it is an obnoxious noise that you need to deal with, otherwise your wife or girlfriend will leave you. I'm just saying, the women do not like to deal with this. So this thing in its normal settings has 3 built-in performance modes on here. But we'll go through the little screens first. We've got the current block height. This is the last Bitcoin block that was mined. Just like you would see in mempool, as it's trying to sync all that stuff up, loading, and come on, and do your thing. Do something. Do I have to poke you with the stick? There we go. And we can see that the last block 6 minutes ago was mined by Antpool. The block before that was mined by Antpool. And then we had Spider Pool, Foundry USA, another Foundry, more Foundry, Brains Pool, so that's more Foundry. So we can see the last few blocks that were mined on here. And as you can see, this is all touchscreen, which I love this. That is not the right current time. I've actually had a small little issue that this doesn't just automatically kind of correct itself. I've got to go over to my settings here, guys. So you go into settings and you can set your performance modes, your fan controls from here, save all of that. And then you've got your time zone. So if your time zone, you'll have to go into here and select your correct time zone, and then you'll be able to go back to the clock and it should show you the proper time after that. It kind of just defaults into Mountain Standard Time. And I'm not even really sure if that's truly Mountain Standard Time, because they would only be an hour difference. So it would be like 9 o'clock right now for them. So I don't know where it's getting PM from, but you have to go into the settings and you will have to change it if you want to use this as like a display clock. Otherwise, where I typically have it is right here, which will be the Bitcoin price on there. Why? Because that makes a conversational piece. People see 69 and they go giggity, and they're like, what's that all about? I'm just saying, they giggity over it, and then they ask you questions. Find out, you know, put this out in front of people that don't know anything about Bitcoin and let them see a price. Money talks, bullshit walks, as they say, right? So they'll ask you about this. That's what this touchscreen is really about. Is about trying to get you to set this up, and when your friends and family come over and they see this little thing hashing away on your coffee table, or they see it hashing away on your computer desk, and they're like, what's that $69,000 all about? And you can go, oh, that's my future. You know, you can sit there and start your conversation off any which way you would like. Be like, it's the price of Bitcoin. And then they're going to be, wow, that's expensive. And they're not going to want to buy that because they don't understand that you can buy a bit. You can buy $10 worth. And you're going to have to explain that to them. That's what the conversational starter is all about. We don't give them all the information of Bitcoin right off the bat. Don't do that, guys. Don't be like, oh, blah, all the information. Blah. They're going to walk away and they're going to be like, yeah, cool, Bitcoin. And they're going to walk away. Now, I sit there and I show them the price and they're like $69,000 per Bitcoin. And I'll be like, wow, that's expensive. Be like, yeah, it wasn't back in the day whenever I bought some Bitcoin for the very first time. It was at $3,000. They'd be like, wow, you've made a huge return. See, now you've got a conversation. Be like, hey, look, you can still buy Bitcoin right now. You can buy $10 worth of it. And if the price goes up, you know, doubles from there, you double your money. So you'll go from $10 to $20. That's how investments work. And you see, you give them a little bit of information. Let them ask a question. Let them throw a doubt. Attack do this one at a time. Much easier. That's what a conversational starter is all about. And in the same time, you're helping to centralize the Bitcoin network. You get to potentially validate your own transaction. I'm just saying, that's special in itself. If you were to send a Bitcoin transaction and then your solo miner mined your own block, it's like you gave yourself a tip. Just use Bitcoin. I'm just saying that's the coolest thing ever. And then I don't think I showed all the screens on here. Yeah. And then there's the one, like, there's one screen I'm not going to show you. The last screen here, I'll show you like this. Oop, wrong button. I keep doing that. So this is the actual current hash rate of the miner itself. So when I turned it back on, it came over, ramped up, and now it's doing its thing, very steady state. Very nicely. We're sitting at about 2.6 terahash a second, which I like. It's a good hash rate number. And then the other one that's on here that I did not press is this button right here. That is my Wi-Fi. I just don't want to show people my personal Wi-Fi. If you guys have any questions on how to set this thing up, certainly hit me up in the Discord. Links down below, guys. I will be more than happy to walk you through it. You're going to need a phone, and you're going to access, and you're gonna treat this Bitaxe like it's your new Wi-Fi router, and you're gonna point your phone at it, and from there you're gonna be able to set up your wireless on here and get it to start hashing. If you guys are confused with that or having issues, please let me know. Get into the comments. Hey, I'm having an issue. I'll help walk you through it. It is super simple. I just don't want to show personal information. I don't have a dummy router that I'm not utilizing that I can show people how to hook into that router without, you know, showing any personal information from behind the scenes. I would like to see an isolated network if I'm going to show that. So until I can set up a isolated network, which I could. I bet you I could. I might have some old equipment and might be able to do that, but not today. Another time. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this is a Bitaxe Turbo GT. If you wanted to save yourself a little bit of money and you're like, hey, I don't need it to look pretty, I just want the miner, certainly go ahead and get the Bitaxe GT. It's the same thing without the screen. But if you want a little bit of the conversational starter and you want to be able to you like the little bit of the something that's going to look nicer on your desk or wherever you're sitting it, so that it doesn't just look like a raw miner, this is the way to go. Absolutely. And if you guys are going to grab one, use my affiliate links down below. Certainly check it out. It helps me out, helps channel out, all that good stuff. So with that being stated, guys, this was the walk around. Hope you guys enjoyed it. The next video that I will do with this, I will tear this apart. I want to see what's underneath the hood. I mean, we already know it's a Bitaxe GT, but I want to take a look at the screen. See if I can interface with the screen and maybe load up my own personal background. We'll have to see. With that being stated, thank you all for being here. Smash that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and may your watts be low and your hash be high, and I'll see you on the next one.